You must do this, otherwise standards, those are the things that you hold yourself accountable to. You must do this. Raising your standards is part of changing yourself. Now, you may think that you like change. I say that I like change, and I do, but that does not mean that it's not uncomfortable for me. Change is uncomfortable, no matter how you think about change. There's a lot of self-acceptance in our culture. You're supposed to accept yourself like you are, and we have so many shoulds, but we don't do them. You should drop some weight, you should perform better, you should do this and should do that, be better, be a better friend or whatever. But shoulds, they don't make into the standards. Shoulds are something that you may do or may think about, but you don't do them. So if you have a bar here that is a should, raising your standard would be to actually incorporate this into who and what you are as a person. And that's why it starts with yourself. You need to identify who you are and why you want to raise your standards. It's going to make you better, because otherwise you wouldn't do it. There are several ways of doing this. Associate a lot of pain to your current standards of living. For instance, if your standard right now is that you don't exercise, associate pain with not exercising. And that could be, well, ask yourself and draw this into spectacular and enormous timelines, such as if you don't exercise any day of the rest of your life, how are you going to feel? If you associate that much pain, then you're going to want to raise your standard, because you're lowering your barrier of entering a higher standard. The same way, but in the opposite way, if you sometimes break your standard, like this, you lower your bar. You say to yourself, you're going to only have one square of chocolates, and then once you've had that square, well, you just broke your standards, why not do it again? And then all you know, then you had a whole chocolate bar. You know this happens because, well, everyone does it. It's something I see every day, even in myself, and we have to fight that and keep our standards high and making sure not to lower these standards, because we must. Remember, standards are that we must do these things. So once you've thought about what you want to raise as a standard, then the next part becomes actually raising the standard. And you have to know a few things. First, it's going to be uncomfortable. Change is uncomfortable for everyone. Even the people who seem to like change, it is uncomfortable, okay? The second thing is that as you try to raise your standards, you may get some limiting beliefs. You may get a voice in your head may tell you that you're not able to do it, or if you fail, you're gonna crush down on yourself, and that's not going to help your progress. So knowing those two things, you need to crush the limiting beliefs that you have. One rule that I always have is that if I'm raising my standards, I will look at some kind of role model or someone that has done it before me. For instance, in exercise, people have done enormous work in this field, and when I start, to give myself some credibility, I'm the person who goes up 4:30 a.m. every day, no matter what, to get my exercise or get some stuff done the first thing in the morning. And I did not invent that standard myself, right? There are several people around the world that employ this standard. And so I had one person in particular that I saw as a role model, and I saw that, well, if he can do it, then so can I. And that is the same with your limiting beliefs. If you have seen someone else do it, then believe me, you're able to do it. You just need to crush that, go through it, and do it anyway. And if you do this, well, there's really no limit toward how high you can reach, but you have to do the work. It doesn't work just writing on paper. You have to put down the work. You have to, of course, write down the goals that you have, the standard that you want to raise in terms of what you must do. I must go up at 4:30 a.m. every day. I just must do it. And I haven't failed for 1.5 years. I must do it. And when it becomes a part of your must, when your necessity shoots through the roof, then trust me, you will do it. It's gonna work for you. Remove all those shoulds and start actually taking action toward raising your standards so that you can become better, feel better, be better in the way that you want it to be. And this is not about self-acceptance. This is about actually realizing where you're at and realizing where you want to be, and then raising your standards and in that process toward that goal that you have. It does not happen overnight, but it will happen over time. But it will never happen if you never put down the work required for it. And my message this time is to start right now. That the best time to plant a tree was yesterday, but the next best time is today. And this goes with standards, with change in general. If you wait too long, then all this time that passed is going to be time that you lost if you don't do it right now. So associate a lot of pain with not taking action right now. For instance, if you don't exercise, what happens if you don't exercise for a year? That should amass enormous amounts of pain toward your ways of doing things that you do today. You will not feel as good, you will not look as good. You can draw that line wherever you want to, but associate pain to your current ways of living, and then in that way increase your musts, your standards, and do some action toward another goal with that standard. You have to live it. Just say that today I must go up 4:30. Today I must exercise. Today I must write down my goals, and that will help you shoot through the roof and accomplish more and do more of the life that you have. Because life is short, so don't wait around to make things happen. Do the change that you need now. Good luck with that, and I'll see you another time. See ya!